Hey everyone, the Reading Bard here, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be reading Chapter 3 of 428 and Counting by Beatborn Nanaman. I do hope you enjoy! Wrong time? Hitoshi was honestly not sure what to think about the mystery man sitting in there. His vibes were of an ancient book, like he knew everything about everyone. Like he was around for longer than anybody else could ever imagine. His face looked to be around 40 years old. His face still smooth of any wrinkles, but he just felt wise. Hitoshi couldn't explain. He just felt that the man was safe. Hitoshi glanced at his pops again, silently begging him to do the talking. Izuku, this is Shinzo Hitoshi. We adopted him 5 years ago now? Hitoshi nodded, confirming the time period. He's 15 now, and he will start UA next semester. Oh really? What course? The man turned his whole attention towards him, making him a little squirmish under the intense gaze. The hero course, sir. Hitoshi saw the man frown, his thoughts spiraling the millisecond it splayed across his lips. Is that bad? Does he not like heroes anymore? God, will this start a fight? It's because of me again. How could I be so... Kid, please, there is no need for this sir bullshit. He waved his hand dismissively in front of his face, looking to be lost in thought for a second. After all, this basically makes us grandpa and grandchild. He seemed very excited after realizing this, standing up faster than lightning, grabbing him under both arms, lifting Hitoshi up effortlessly, gently spinning him around while he was still in shock. Let me take a good look at you, since Shota never sent me a picture of you. He shot a nasty glance towards said man, who looked away in shame. You look healthy. Good. But I'm afraid the hero course will need a little more muscle than this. He pulled him closer, enveloping him in a hug. His legs were dangling underneath him, tiptoes barely reaching the ground. Just how tall is this man? The hug felt good, and after getting over the initial shock of being manhandled, he shyly hugged back, fingers curling around the fabric of the man's shirt. God, I always wanted a grandkid. Hitoshi, you said. I see you kept your family name. Good call. It's safer that way. The man put him down, bringing a hand up to ruffle his purple hair. It felt identical to how Dad did it. Affectionate and safe. Oh, hero course, huh? Very nostalgic indeed. You got in on the first try? Must have been hard. Mental quirk and all. How did you fare with the robots? Oh, did you figure out the hidden point system? Pray tell, is Nezu still principal? How... He looked around, confused as to why all three of them looked at him in confusion, tilting his head to the side in a silent question. Shota was the first to break the silence. I never told you about his quirk. And then it hit Hitoshi. How did he know he had a mental quirk? He had assumed his dad had told the man. But now? Quite simple, really. Look at him! It shows just like your crush was obvious on Hisashi, darling. When nobody seemed pleased with his answer, Hitoshi heard him let out a sigh, accompanied by a silent, children these days. He doesn't know how his parents were supposed to be children, but, well, why did I even bother teaching about analytics back in the day? Pay attention. I'll only say this once. Not you, Hitoshi, darling. I will teach you how many times you need me to. He patted his head again, eyes filled with adoration and love. Hitoshi understood why his dad cried after the sports festival. He shows no obvious sign of mutation. Could it be hidden? Seems unlikely. His weight is roughly around a normal teenager, muscle density and weight distribution normal. Stronger than average, but still not strong enough to withstand a strength enhancer or a speed booster quirk. That leaves us with emitters and the quirkless. Now, I ruled out quirkless because of the rasp in his voice. It is the same low-frequency sound that Hisashi over here has, a clear sign of a quirk that is related to sound or voice. In Hisashi's case, his entire voice is the quirk, so the hum is constant when he speaks, but you only have it when asking a question. That leaves us with two possible conclusions. Either it's a question-activated mind control quirk, or question-activated other emitter quirk. He cleared his throat, placing his fists on his sides, standing tall and proud of his freakishly accurate analysis. See? Quite simple. Hizashi shook his head sharply. No, Izuku! Nothing about that was quite simple. What do you mean by a rasp in his voice? I'm supposed to be the voice hero here, and I hear nothing. Rin, nada! Exasperated questioning was interrupted by a hearty laugh coming from Izuku. I sure hope so. It's not supposed to be heard at all. Then how do you know? This time Chota asked his father the question. Oh, because my heightened senses allow me to. I can sense the frequencies of an emitter quirk when activated, and after enough training, I became able to identify them later on, meaning that I could tell it was Hizashi, even if blindfolded, just by the sound of his emitted frequency. It really is just a low hum that is unique to every person. Wow, Hitoshi gawped at the man still standing beside him, looking up in awe. So, was I right? Hitoshi nodded, not trusting his voice right now. Izuku grinned like a child on Christmas, and Hitoshi felt like he needed to shield his eyes from the brightness. It was even brighter than his pops's, and that is hard to achieve. Now, let me order you all something to eat. What do you want, darling? Hitoshi was confused at first, not sure about who the man was talking to. But when nobody answered, and Izuku kept his gaze on him, he realized that he was the addressed person. Coffee? Come on, Toshi. Don't feel bad about the price. This old geezer has enough money to last him 2 lifetimes. His dad supplied, picking up the menu from the holder in the booth, scanning for something delicious. Ha ha ha! Your dad is quite right, actually. This old man has nothing he can't afford, so let me spoil my grandchild a little. Please? Toshi thought about it for a little, but after realizing that he didn't have to pay either if his parents or grandpa bought him food, he just gave in and sat next to his dad, reading through the menu. Zashiku, don't be shy. Let's get all of you something to bring home with you. Now, what do you want? Pops wasted no time, exclaiming loudly and clear on his lips, sounding childish, the way only an older person can make you feel. Cinnamon buns! Both he and Izuku burst out laughing, Dad smiling fondly, and Hitoshi confused as hell. After they all chose something to eat and drink, and ordered 3 cinnamon buns to go, they sat in their booth for an hour, just talking about mundane things. Izuku asked about what they did this summer, and they inquired about his time in Eye Island. No way! That's so cool! Hizashi was thoroughly impressed. It is indeed cool. It took some time to perfect this new technology, but the end result is worthy of all the all-nighters. Izuku stated, proud of his invention. He was describing the product and support technology breakthrough he achieved during his 8-year stay at the island. Developed a method to code a support item or hero suit to a person's quirk factor or DNA, making its activation require the specific person it was intended for. This new technology also takes hero suit making to another level. Now, if a person has a full body transformation or an emitter quirk, that would be stopped if the body is covered in normal fabric, example, midnight. This new fabric development would make getting around it possible. Hey, Nomuri-san, she has that sleeping gas quirk, right? He waited for both pro heroes to nod. She has to rip her suit open to access her quirk, thus forcing her to have very thin fabric, with zero support or reinforced parts for protection. It's extremely dangerous, not to mention uncomfortable. Toshi watched Izuku shudder at the thought. He himself was also extremely uncomfortable just thinking about the heroine's costume. Curse you, society built on sex appeal! With this technology, she would be able to have thicker fabric, armor, or even full body coverage, because the fabric itself would have a similar quality to her skin, letting the gas through on will. That did sound very much like an upgrade to her current attire. Hitoshi noting how both Crow heroes at the desk look at each other in awe and amusement. Izuku, this is revolutionary! When is this method being released? The man seemed to think about it, hand placed under his chin. Not sure. I did the research, wrote up the proposal, and presented it to the Island Commission. And procession time can last up to 2 weeks, but... He held the silence for suspense, finger held up to gather attention. As the publisher and discoverer, I have the right to it all. I can use the method before the publication itself. Turned his upheld finger and pointed it towards Shota, meaning I can process your capture scarf and link it to your DNA, making you the sole user to be able to wield it as intended. Hitoshi watched as his dad's eyes widened, a small but excited smile stretching on his lips, perking up a bit in his seat. Can you really? Just gotta ask Majima for an extra scarf, and I can start working on it as soon as I have access to a lab. And that is it for Chapter 3 of 4 to 8 and Counting. As I said previously, I really enjoy hopping between the family dynamics in this fic. It's so entertaining and engaging for my brain to be switching between all the different voices when all 4 of them are in a conversation. Oh my god, I love it so much. I love it so much. Anyways, this is where I'm going to leave it for today. I hope y'all had an amazing St. Patrick's Day yesterday, and the link to the fic will be down below in the description. Until next time, this has been the Reading Bird, and I will see y'all next time. Bye!